Good morning, it's Penelope, and I'm up here in my stock room again. And yesterday I started talking about prepping and coupons, but I had to cut it short because I had some things to do before work. And something that I missed, and I really missed it. And I watched my video, and I was like, "You dumbass! You started something and you never got to it." And what it was if you set a monetary budget for your preps weekly. Okay. Say you do, we'll just say Kroger because that's what I'm familiar with. Say you do Kroger shopping, you've looked at the deals, you've got you some coupons, and say you saved $10 on everything that your goal for that week was to buy. Take that $10 and put it aside. Don't use it. Put it in an envelope, put it somewhere, and then keep that for a prepper budget. And what I mean by that is once you get to a certain level, do you want to continue? Or did you think, well, maybe I should get some of this or some of that? And as you start saving, you will have that budget just for prepping. And eventually, you can buy what you need. Now, this is the question that I ask everyone. I have a lot of people ask me questions a lot because they know I'm a prepper. They know that I'm a homesteader. They know I'm frugal. They also know I'm a couponer. So they ask me this question. Number one, what are you prepping for? Well, when I first started prepping, I was prepping for a financial situation because a financial situation slapped me in the face. And there's something that I would like to say as well. If you are on a very low or fixed income, take advantage of food pantries because they are there for you or for people in need, and they do throw some foods away. A lot of people don't pick up the foods that they offer. There are some things that they will offer you more of because no one wants them. For example, dried rice. No one wants to make long grain rice. That's a great prepper item. Dried beans. People don't want to cook beans. Give me a can of beans and we're ready to jet. So there are food pantries if you're on a low budget or even if you're on a fixed income. Even if you're just having a situation and you would just like to have some more food in your house for your family or for yourself for survival. Food pantries are there to help, and that's a help. Utilize them. Because the reason I started prepping was because I got injured at work and I had no income for 4.5 weeks. My husband wasn't working. What was I going to do? Every little bit of money I had went to my pets, my gas, and like toilet paper. So I went to the food pantry, and I went to the food pantry every other week, and I would gather us some food. And what we didn't use went into my prepper pantry because eventually my checks did come through workman's comp and things got back on track. But when it wasn't on track, let me tell you, food pantries are a great thing. And I have been working with food pantries for a long time. And I was like, well, it's my turn, you know, to take what I need. And so I did. So if you're on a low income and you want to prep and you think, oh my goodness, I can't do it, I'm on a fixed income, go to the food pantries. There might be more than one in your area. Utilize them. It is for you and for me if I need it, or anybody for that matter. So, anyway, number one, know what you're prepping for. Am I prepping to get through the winter? Am I prepping for that emergency situation where there's no income? Maybe I'm injured. Maybe I lost my job. Maybe something like that happened. Or maybe, your car broke down and all your money is going to your car. That's another emergency situation. For example, say your transmission goes out. Well, okay, that's a big expense. That's a big expense and it takes away from your budget. So are you prepping for something like that? Or are you prepping for the SHTF situation? Do you want to be a doomsday survivor? That's also the biggest part of prepping. So my whole thing is set a goal. Know what you want to do. And when you set that goal, set a budget for it. Because number one, you don't want to take away from your daily life, your monthly life, your yearly life for prepping. If you do, then you will be in the hole. And that's not what this is about because we want to maintain the lifestyle that we're living and prep. It's very important. I cannot go above my daily, monthly needs to prep. Not going to happen. That's why I coupon, because it allows me to prep every week. Because every week there's something on sale that I can throw in my preps that I know is there. Okay? So that means I can focus on my cats, my dog, their needs. When I get my chickens, I will focus on making sure that I have feed for them just in case. I will always buy an extra 50-pound of feed and then always rotate that through and make sure I have enough feed for them for quite a while, at least until a growing season, because then that's when something else comes through, and we'll get to there in just a moment. Okay, so our basics we know is food, water, pets, and livestock. Number one across the board. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs water. There you go. Now, if you want to get a little more in detail, what I would recommend is saving pet water in your 2-liter bottles or your drinking water for them. Save that. Buy yours for now. And the reason being is because, number one, you can always use what you save for your pets in those jugs for cooking water. And if you've seen my prepping water video, I give you tons of ideas on how to save water. Because if things go down and there is no water flow, you're going to need water for more than just drinking, cooking, bathing, laundry, your pets. I mean, there's so many needs that we don't even think. Cleaning, everything that you can possibly think of. So I would recommend going to my prepping with water video, because that's going to show you some really fantastic things that you can do now while the water's running through the faucets. Very important. Water. You know, we have to have it. Okay, so we have food, water, and pets. Those are our basic downline needs. Then we also have lighting, cooking, and then first aid. Okay, as you progress into your prepping and you get the basics down to a point where they're there and you can move on and spend a little bit of money on something else, but continue to throw into your food preps. Always throw into your food preps. Lighting, candles, flashlights, batteries, because you have to have that. Or you can go to like the Dollar General or the Family Dollar, and they have those little solar lights that you stick outside, and they're solar. You can bring them in the house, and guess what? You have lighting in the house for the night. And every day, put them outside, they generate, so you would have lighting in the house. That's just an idea. I got them for 50 cents a piece this summer when they went on discount, 50% off at the Dollar General. So I got a bunch of them for 50 cents a piece. I'm kind of excited. I am going to put them outside of my chicken coop. I know. I can't help it. But anyway, lighting and then cooking. Now, cooking is something that you're going to want to continue to think. Do you have a charcoal grill? If you do, stock up on charcoal. Make sure you have a wood source. Make sure you have a way of lighting it. A magnesium lighting stick is a very good thing to have. Very, very good thing to have. Extra lighters, matches, things like that. That's for cooking. Now, if you want to get a little bit more involved, then you could have the things to make a rocket stove. And I would suggest going on Pinterest for that to get ideas on a rocket stove for you. Maybe a solar oven. Have those items to make a solar oven. Or if you have the money, order one off of Amazon. There are some really good solar ovens and solar cooking apparatuses that you can utilize and purchase. I just personally don't, because I'm not going to spend that money on them. But be my guest, because wow, to be able to cook and bake your bread outside in the sun, fantastic. First aid. Now, first aid is something that we should always have around our house. Alcohol, peroxide, Neosporin, antibiotic cream. We should always have those things. Things for cuts, medications, pain relievers, all kinds of things. You should always have those on hand no matter what anyway. So just embellish on them. Now, what I do is I do a lot of CVS deals, and I can get my stuff almost cheap. Um, but anyway, there are coupons for those things. There are coupons for everything I've spoke of. Now, there's some other things that you might want to also consider. Garbage bags. Garbage bags are really nice. I love garbage bags. I collect garbage bags as much as I can with coupons and sales. I know. Um, Baby wipes. Baby wipes. I have a ton of baby wipes. And you're like, why? Because number one, in an SHTF situation, that is a good way to wash yourself. And even if the electric goes out and you're in your home, it's a good way to wash yourself too, and you won't get cold. You can take a partial sleeve, go up your sleeve. You can do that with all your other little regions. Just always remember that. Okay. Now, as we go up a little bit further in the prepping, tools. And you're like, tools? Well, number one, you want some really good gloves. You want some gloves that you can use when you're chopping wood. You're going to need a hatchet, maybe a saw, whatever you need to utilize tool-wise. Now, other tools for prepping would be a dehydrator. You can find dehydrators at thrift stores, Goodwill. You can even find them fairly cheap. A dehydrator is a great tool for prepping. And you can dehydrate your vegetables, your fruits. You can find them on sale. Dehydrate them. They're great. Food savers, another tool that is fantastic for prepping. So you can save for those things as well. Seeds and needs. I think this is very important, and it is something that I do. I have been called out saying, well, seeds only last a certain amount of time. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have used seeds that were 5 and 7 years old. It's worked. Not every seed germinated, but 4 or 5. Then I always have another seed to come off of that. My seeds and needs. I always make sure that I have dirt. I make sure I have pots. So that way, if something happens, I can grow bird seed again, which can feed my chickens. I can grow corn. I can grow everything I need the next season. So, for example, say SHTF situation happens in October. I'm pretty well stocked until spring. And then when spring starts, I'll plant something for them. So, seeds. If you wanted to go that next step in prepping. Then, defense. Defense is quite expensive. And if you are set up with your defense items, you will know that the items needed are quite expensive. So every time you set a goal and you set a budget and you go below that budget, save that money back for these other prepping items. Because as you start prepping and you start thinking and you start watching the other prepping videos, there are some great preppers out there. I'm not going to go into detail on who they are. All I can say is they have great ideas. They have the lists. They have everything that you need to know. But what I want to do is impart wisdom on what are you prepping for. Because if you're only prepping for the winter, or if you're only prepping for this or that, then you don't need to go into everything else. But as you progress and as you hit your goals weekly and you save that money back for moving forward on your preps. But always remember, there's always a sale, there's always a deal, there's always a coupon somewhere for something for your preps. I do recommend going and looking at other prepper videos. Now, there are ways to tell which videos you want to look at, because if you're not interested in defense or the long-term prepper venue, then watch some milder preppers. There are preppers that are just very basic preppers. And I'm going to tell you a prepper that no longer puts out videos, but her videos are so good, and I miss her, and I wish she would come back, and that is the Healthy Prepper. I absolutely love her. Healthy Prepper. She's fantastic. And her stockpile was phenomenal. But I don't know how long it's been since she's been on. She's just great. There are several preppers that are no longer on YouTube. I think they moved on to maybe another venue. But they're awesome. So It depends on what you want to do, and how you want to set up your prepper pantry or your lifestyle. Do you want to have a prepper lifestyle? I have a prepper lifestyle. I also have a homesteading lifestyle, which kind of goes hand in hand, because now with the homestead, I'm going to be more self-sufficient, which is a great way to be a prepper. Um, but I can do that. But I'm just telling you, know what you want to prep for and start thinking. I have a binder that I started, and I put it away, and I haven't been able to find it for a while. Well, I haven't really looked for it, but it had all of my goals. Sit down, make a folder, take a notebook, and write down what you want to do. You know that you want to set up a prepper pantry. You need to get your canned goods. You got to think about those canned goods too. What kind of canned goods do I want? Well, the first thing that pops into my head is chunky style soups. You got a meat, you got a starch, you got a vegetable, and you got a gravy. That can go with rice, instant potatoes, or even noodles. You can put it over pasta. That's a complete meal. Um, canned meats. There's all kinds of canned meats. But I always make sure that now that I am a couponer, that I make sure that I get a coupon or a sale or a deal, or I look at the markdowns. I got a large 15-ounce can of tuna not too long ago for $1.59. It was supposed to be like almost $4 a can. Well, it's in oil. I don't care. If I'm starving to death, I'm going to eat that tuna. And it's good until 2022. It is 2018 now, and it was on a discount. So always look at those discount bins, because they're not always expired foods. Just saying. So anyway, the basics: food, water, pets. Next, tools, seeds, and defense. First aid, you should always have that anyway. You should always have some first aid products. Very important. My hair isn't up. Let's see here. That's not all I have for today. You all have a good day. Bye.